Okay, so hello again, everybody, and hello, Philippa. So welcome to Wise Women Weekdays for those that are watching. It's me, Karen Dodd. Sorry, there's been a bit of an absence because I've been poorly for the last couple of weeks, second time this year. And I know a lot of people have been poorly, so I don't know if there's something in the atmosphere, in the air, or in the water. Who knows? But anyway, I'm fighting fit now, and I'm really happy to finally be joined by Philippa Kingsley. So welcome, Philippa. How are you today?
I'm great on Friday. Wise
Good.
Women Weekdays on a Friday.
Yes, that's right. On Friday, it doesn't always work like that, but the plan was to have wise women on a weekday. A bit like, do you remember way back when? God, it's not loose women. It was that coffee morning. Oh gosh, it was all these women that they'd meet for coffee. They'd drop off their kids. They'd be on the TV, and they'd come in and have a coffee and stuff like that and chat about everything. That was the plan. And it kind of worked, but you don't have to be a woman to be wise and to be on the show. Men join me a lot, and it's lovely. It's really nice. So Philippa, let's just find out a little bit about you. I said, what should we talk about? And you've given me, well, I've added one. You've given me three subject headings, which is vortex healing, animal communicator, trance medium, and I've just thrown in the fact that you've written a book a few years ago about the Thai vegan cookbook, which really fascinates me. So let's talk a little bit about you. I mean, what's your backstory? What are you? Who are you? Why are you
What am
here?
I? Who am I? Animal, vegetable, mineral, we ask ourselves.
Absolutely. But
Depends which
yeah,
day, depends which day of the week.
that was Friday. So how are you on a Friday? What are you feeling like talking
Yeah, I'm
about on
fine.
a Friday?
I'm in a good mood. This is great.
Got the
No,
sun's out.
basically, that's my background. Okay. I am a certified vortex healing, divine energy healing practitioner, which I've been for over 20 years. I'm an animal communicator or whisperer, whichever words you want to use. I work with animals that have been rescued as well. A lot of animals that have been abused, different things like that. I work with farm animals, doesn't matter. Anything that's got four legs and a tail, or it could be two legs and furry and feathered or whatever, anything. I also work with animals in spirit as well, a pastor spirit. So I work with animals that are obviously here on this Earth planet and also animals in spirit. People want, to help get closure after they've lost their beloved pet. I'm also a medium. I trained at Arthur Findlay Spiritualist College for many, many years, and since 2014. And I'm a trance medium. I love trance. Trance is what I connect with, actually, or trance, as we say in America.
Yeah.
Trance. I'm a trance medium, and that's what I love to do.
I bet they love it when you go to America and say you're a trance medium.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
say that again because they just love the accent, don't they?
I lived in America anyway for 22 years. So I lived in Atlanta, and I go back all the time, still connected with the States, and always have been, always will be. That's my home. And basically, I lived in the Netherlands as well for 4 years. I lived in The Hague and Den Haag, as they say, many, many moons ago. And yeah, that's when I've been on my path for a long, long time, for a long time, very long
So
time.
what was the first thing that you got involved in? Was it the animals or was it the vortex? What was the first thing that you found a passion?
Okay, it was basically about healing myself,
Mm-hmm.
as one does.
Mm.
Everything in life is divine timing, and I'm always talking about divine timing. Anybody that knows me knows I'm always talking about divine timing. So basically, there was some unresolved family issues that I knew I'd, try to sort out. And basically, we get to a certain point in life. And one of my close friends, actually, one of my closest friends, actually, she's in the world of spirit now. But anyway, she was a vortex healing practitioner, and she gave me some healings when I used to come to London. And basically, I decided I wanted to learn vortex healing, and it changed my life for me because the depth of what it does, it works at the mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and karmic level. It works at the root cause of people's issues, not just the dramas that go on in our lives. And he said this, she said that. It's basically works at the root cause. And most people's root cause is basically whatever the story is fear of change, fear of moving forward. And then also issues of self-worth. Do I love myself? Do I like myself? Do I deserve? Am I good enough? And there's also issues of forgiveness. Because if somebody's done something to you in the past, they're not thinking about it. You're the only person that is still attached to it. So we have to actually forgive ourselves first for being attached. It doesn't mean to say that you condone what that person's done to you at all, far from it. Um, or what's happened, or for a learning lesson, or for a reason. But it's basically so that you're no longer attached to, blaming yourself, basically, and And it's working through all of that. Some people have all three issues. Some people have one issue. It's not cookie cutter, as they say. Everybody has a different situation as to what their story is in life, as to how they incarnate into this life, and to how things manifest. So that's basically, I started learning vortex healing, and it changed my life for me. I was able to sort of work everything out on a family level, which was beautiful. Yeah, basically, and through that, I wasn't looking to say I want to be a vortex healing practitioner. It just happened.
It found you. So
Yeah,
talk us through, I mean, what exactly, when you're talking about a vortex, explain what the vortex is, and is it hands-on, is it distance healing? How does it work?
it works on both, anyway, because energy is not trapped in a body anyway. We are
Mm.
all energy, all of us, everybody. At that time, everybody was, you literally work with people in person. Um, and it's incredibly powerful. As I say, it's more than just a healing modality. It's actually a path to awakening. You can say, what's awakening? Pure divine love. It's as simple as that. When you realize that all the stories and the dramas and everything that we have in life is basically, you put it onto the level of love, and you realize that all this other stuff is just drama, basically. All this, it's conditioning and conditioning
Mm.
of how we all are and how we've been brought up and how we've incarnated into this life, whether it's family stuff, everything.
So at the moment, that's a really interesting point because there's a lot of fear at the moment. I like the fact we talk about awakening. There's
Oh,
a lot
that's,
of fear
yeah,
going on, especially since 2020, and with what
absolutely,
else, whether there's,
absolutely.
shortages of
Um,
electricity or food or toilet paper, whatever there is, and what's coming, financially in every aspect of society, there's something going on. So can you help people without their permission? Can you, heal them?
No, you cannot heal anybody without anybody's permission because it's unethical. Somebody has to want to heal themselves. It's like saying you can take a horse to water. You can say, "Look, you're thirsty. Why don't you
Mm.
drink?" But if that horse isn't ready to drink, you can stand in your head because it ain't going to drink, as they say. So all you can do is show somebody, guide somebody, talk to somebody, which is what I do anyway. And it's up to them whether they want to sort of take things further, and not to be into whether it's a victim mode, or whether people have fear. There's the collective fear at the moment, basically karmic collective fear. There's individual fear for different people's own things they got going on in their own lives on a personal level. But you can never heal somebody that doesn't want to be healed. You cannot. It's not morally ethical. You basically, that's definite. There's a
So you
moral
need you,
code
you
of
need
ethics.
their permission. Yeah,
There's a moral code of ethics. There's a moral code of ethics, basically, on a higher realm of not just humanity, on
sure.
spiritual level, basically. That's where
And
it comes
and
from.
when we're talking about healing people on I guess a spiritual level, because you're not talking about healing somebody if they've fallen over and broken their leg, are we? Where they'll go to the doctor or to the hospital and get that fixed. We're talking about working on an energy level. So
It's an
um
energy level. But I would
mhm,
say, vortex healing works at the mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and karmic level. Because we are not just one body, we are a physical body that we see that we've manifested, but there are different levels. We have our mental mind, you have your ego. The ego doesn't want you to change. The ego goes, "Oh, you've always been like that. You don't want to change." But, change comes from within. And it comes a point when sometimes people say, "I can't live like this anymore. I need to change how I'm living my life," because one keeps attracting the same kind of situations or people in different form into your life. And it's time to say, you know what? It's loving yourself, liking yourself, and realizing, it's valuing yourself. You have to value yourself, whoever you are, male, female, doesn't matter, whatever levels of male. I'm
yeah,
not into all that, but anyway,
yeah.
whoever you are as a human, let's put it like that. You have to value yourself. It's valuing yourself,
So this
loving yourself,
can be the
like.
challenge because for a lot of people that think that they're okay and they might not need healing, but maybe objectively we can look at people or be in a relationship, whatever that is. It could be with the person that serves you coffee or the bus conductor,
Absolutely.
but we might look at them and think, oh, they need some help, but a lot of people don't think they need healing because they are happy in their misery or their lifestyle or their lack of, and they think that's just the way it is. So how can these people be helped, or can they not? Have they got to go through an experience in life like a wake up call to realize, oh, I need help? Like you get a headache, you go to the doctor.
Yeah, often, yes, because there will come a point, if you like, there's a catalytic point of something that happens, or they go, as I say, I don't want to live like this anymore, or this has happened, or they look at themselves differently, or why is this happening? And as they say in life, when what is it? When the person is ready, the teacher appears.
Yeah, yeah.
Teacher. And then as a human being, we're all given free will. You're either going to do something about it or not. Some people are happy in their ding ding misery,
Yeah.
or it's fear. It's fear of getting out of what they know. And actually, you have to feel sorry and have compassion for a lot of people because actually they don't want to know any. It's the fear that stops them from taking the next quantum leap forward and saying, I need help. And actually, it takes much strength of character to say, you know what? I need help. It's not weakness, it's strength. It's actually strength. You find your inner strength. I call it your inner doggy instinct. Your inner doggy instinct.
No, I
But
like that. Yeah, well, animals are very, intuitive, aren't
animals
they?
get
So,
it.
so they,
Animals
yeah,
get it. Humans don't. That's
yeah,
the problem.
yeah. No, absolutely. I know if they feel sick, they go out and eat grass and regurgitate it. They intuitively know what to
Backwards.
do.
We go,
Whereas,
yeah.
yeah, we get stuck. We get stuck. So with what is going on in the world, because I mean, the world is a bit topsy-turvy at the moment. Do
That's an
you,
understatement.
yeah, yes, I'm
Don't
trying to be very careful with my words here.
Yeah, right. You and me
But
both. Don't worry, we're
what,
on the same
what
page, you and
we're
I.
on the same page, absolutely. But what is going on, and how can we help the collective? Because you say that this is collective consciousness, but there's individuals, isn't there? So we need to help each other, and the individual perhaps needs to think, oh, I need help. But how do we do this with what's going on?
You can sow seeds. You can talk to somebody,
Hmm.
and out of, as I say, out of 1 grain of sand, you get 2 grains of sand. You get 3 grains of sand. You get four, and that's how things. That's how change happens collectively, anyway. And if you look back through history, that's how change happens, collective. Basically, you can only talk to people that are open and willing because there is a lot of fear. There is a lot of fear around, to say the least. There's the collective fear, there's the individual fear. And it's basically about raising the consciousness from the third dimensional, as we know, to the fifth. And it's about the ascension process. This is where we're all at the moment, is the ascension process. And it's like you go into a room, for example, everybody's asleep. Here you are, you're going into a room. All of a sudden, one person comes in and says, hey guys, wake up, wakey, wakey, time to get up. And you'll get some people that will wake up and some are still staying asleep, because they're in a deeper depth of sleep, basically. Somebody can come in again. It could be a week later, a few months later, whatever the timeline is. There's no timeline, basically. And you can say, look, wake up. And then the next tranche of people will wake up. Because people wake up, not everybody wakes up to different things in life anyway at different times because we are all individual, each one of us. So, it's a question of how do you wake up? And you can only, as I say, sow seeds to people, those that are ready to listen. A lot of people, because there's so many things that have gone on for so many years, as we know, eons of time, not just years, recent years, and eons of time, generations, that obviously change takes time. And we're all conditioned. We were all conditioned from when we were born, all of us. And it's waking up to who you are, what you are, and the essence of who you are at a deeper level. For example, you look at, I always say this, it's like you look at an understudy, like pretend you're an understudy off stage, watching yourself center stage. And that's your story. You're on the stage. These are the clothes you're wearing. This is who you are. And it feels real because that's who you think you are. But that's not who you are. That's the clothes that you put on and the image that you put on in this life. And what's the most important thing is the essence of you. What's your essence is your soul, your heart, your spiritual heart. And it's about coming from your heart, not the mental mind and the conditioned mind, which we've all had, all of us, everybody. And how you look up to different things. And sometimes you have to know if something's right or it's wrong. You just know something intuitively if something's right or it's not. A lot of people want to go along with the same thing because that's what they've known. Other people, as I say, it's divide and conquer, basically. You want to keep everybody together, let's put it like that. And fear separates people. Individual fear, fear of change, fear of moving forward, fear of who you are, what you want to do, what you want to do in life, work, everything. And
Mm,
that, as I say, moves into the collective.
mm,
So you can talk to people individually, people that, can be anyone. I actually talk to Uber drivers. I have amazing conversations with taxi drivers, Uber drivers. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And it just happens because I talk to people because I like to talk, but obviously there's levels of who you talk to and how you talk. And You can gear yourself as to who, what, and how. And many people are questioning things at this time in this
Yeah.
life. They're questioning themselves. And that's okay to question yourself, because that's how you find out more about the depth of who you really are, not the conditioned mind of what we've all been conditioned with, basically,
Yeah.
which has gone on for, as I say, eons and eons of time. So you can only help people that want to be helped. And if they ask for help, you help them, talk to them.
And there's thankfully, because of the internet, I mean, it's an amazing tool because there's a lot of information out there, isn't there? People can just
Absolutely.
tap something in and stuff comes up, whether it's true or not, or whether it's AI generated, who knows? But at
Yeah.
least if they're hunting around, they can get some sort of answer, and whether or not it resonates with them.
I mean, basically, you have to do your own research. It's like
Mm,
anything in life, anything, whoever you are, whatever, on a subject.
mm,
It's doing your own research. And how can you say, how do I do the research? Things come to you when they're meant to. If you want to find
yeah,
out things, they're
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah.
all I
Like
want.
you said, the student and the teacher. Can I
Yeah,
go back to you? Now you mentioned like the three-dimension and fifth dimension ascension. I know this has been bandied around a lot. A lot of people talk about we're moving to a fifth, dimension. What exactly does this mean in your terms, in your mind?
it's not a geographical location. Hey, we're going to Ascension, going off here. Hey guys. Da-da.
I think people do think that. I think a lot of people think we're going to be sitting on a cloud and looking down.
No, we
Where's number
not
four?
that. Yeah, it's not that at all. It's
Mm,
basically, it's a vibration. It's your energetic vibration. It's bringing your energetic vibration up to seeing who you are, what you are on different levels. Some people have a higher energetic vibration than others, obviously. And it's not a question of, I know more than you, because that becomes ego-based.
mhm.
It's not a question of that at all. It's just you're waking up to your inner soul, to your inner essence of you. And that's the basics of it. And to make it basic, make it without getting into esoteric whatevers.
Mm.
I'm trying to make it basic for people as much as possible. It's a different vibration, energetic vibration. What is energy? We are all energy. It's like, okay, to give you an example, for example, it's like when you're a child, you look at things one way. Then you get to a teenager and you look at things another way. So that's a different vibration, obviously, of growth, and also how you look at yourself, how you look at life. And you take that again further along. This is what's coming through me now. You take this again further along. How you thought last year is not the same as you thought this year. How you thought about things 5 years ago is not the same as how you feel now. So it's not a question of saying, I know it all and that's mental mind stuff. It's not. It's not about the mental mind and the ego, which does not want change. It's literally your inner essence, your inner soul of what is really right and what is wrong at a core level, of your moral compass, basically, of it's an energetic vibration, raising your vibration. I'll put it on those, raising a vibration to a higher level, basically.
So
And
we're all evolving, basically.
and
You're talking
and
about
yeah,
evolving.
and also just everything has to come from love. It's being heart based. Now it's about being heart based. Instead of mental mind, which everyone has been, it's coming from the heart, the spiritual heart, not the physical heart, because you've all got physical heart, whoever you are. But it's the spiritual heart. What is that? It's the center of your chest. It's the essence of you. Everything has to be heart based. And that's the difference. It's heart based.
And for those that are raising their vibration and tuning into the fifth dimension, I mean, do they know it? Is there something oh, well, I've got there now. That was hard work, or it's much nicer where I'm at. How do people know that they've
Well,
awakened?
it's not just I'll explain to you. It's not just, oh, I've got there now. Here we are. Ding, I'm here. It's not that. It's like, for example, when you change and you grow through you
Hmm.
do spiritual work, whatever it is, whoever you are, or different awareness of different levels of who you are. And it's not a question of saying my healing modality is better than yours, because that's ego. It's whatever you're drawn to at any given period of time is where it's at. So basically, it's like when you change and grow and you look at yourself differently, you look at a situation, for example, we all have situations in life. So, and you look at that situation and we get hurt, we get upset, we cry. Listen, I'm no different. I'm a human being. It's like rah, shock, horror, and I cry and I'm emotional. But it's how I look at something, how you look at something, basically. And when you change and you look at something differently, the situation is maybe the same, but it's how you view it, how you see it, how you see yourself. It's not a question of saying it's a destination of, hey, I'm on the fifth dimension now, yay. It isn't that. It's literally an energetic change, and it can take time. There's no timeline of anything. It's not like right, 2 days time, you've got to be like, off you go. It's open. It's like peeling the layers of an onion, if you like, peeling the different layers of the onion, or taking the petals off a flower to get to the center of you, the center of love, the center of who you are. So when you change, that other person may not understand. They see something's different. They may not understand what the changes are or what you've gone through yourself personally to get there. Because it's all about working on yourself and helping yourself, understanding your inner essence on every level. And the human being that you are. We're all in human form as well. So, that adds another dimension. That's another thing in itself.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why we're here to learn, and that's why we chose to incarnate into this physical form. Life is a learning lesson. We are spiritual beings having a learning lesson. We are spiritual beings that came in to learn, basically. Some people learn and some people don't. They have to keep coming back till they
Mm-hmm.
get it. That's reincarnation.
Mm-hmm.
Whether one believes it or not, that's okay too. But each one's at a different stage of their, if you like, their growth, their inner spiritual growth and their physical growth, their inner growth. So when something's changed, that person may not know what the change is, but they feel that there's a change in you. You don't have to say, I'm here in the fifth dimension now, you're not me, none of that.
No competition. Mm-hmm.
It's not a competition. It really isn't a competition.
So when one sort of reaches this higher level, this higher
Yeah.
vibration, is that when the fear dissipates, that there is no fear of whatever's going on?
Yes. Yes. And it's a realization things are happening out there. Many things, stuff is happening out there at the moment in the world for everybody. It doesn't matter what you believed. And I'm not talking about politics here. I'm talking about things on a broader level that are happening, which everybody's having to face and see on different levels and waking up to on realizations, if you want to, I'll use the word realizations.
Mm-hmm.
Some are realizing things and something's still not quite right. So it's a question of the awareness around that, it's awakening up to that. Basically, that's what awakening is, if you like.
And do you think it's also because that fear, being fear-based in this physical body, we could be
Right.
frightened of health or paying the bills or
Yeah,
the relationship. There's so many things when you're a human
absolutely.
being. But I guess when you become a little bit more enlightened or awakened or wise or whatever, then are you saying none of it matters because basically we are just having this journey as a human being, and there's more to it once we drop this
Yeah,
skin, this
yeah,
skin suit, something else happens,
yeah,
reincarnation. Is that kind of what you're
yeah.
saying?
So basically, the fear things, obviously, I mean, I had lots of fear. I'm human too. I'm just saying it's not like, oh, sitting in a
Yeah.
cave meditating, la la la. No, it's been a process for me too. It's a process for many, many, many people, and it still is. So basically all you can do is help people. You send out a hand, say, hey, I'm here. If you want some help, I'm here. Because when I look at what's going on, I don't look at the things in fear-based. If I get myself into everything that's going on, I could get, oh my God, I'll send myself off, whatever. I don't do that. I actually don't do that anymore. I actually don't. Basically look at things, I see what's going on, when I realize why things are going on a spiritual level, why things are going on, and it's manifesting in physical form and through people and through situations on worldwide, on every single thing. But I don't get into the fear anymore. Occasionally, if I literally do have a tinge of, hey, help,
Yes.
oops, oops, then I get back, then I meditate and I ground myself basically, and I sort of, and I do know, and then I won't look at too much of what's going on. I don't sit glued to. I don't have a TV anyway, and that's my choice. But anyway, there's plenty of other things you can get all your information from, obviously, which one does these days. So I don't get into the fear. I don't get into it now because I've really grown into that concept that I don't feel fear. I trust.
Yes.
It sounds weird or different or like, what? How can you? And what and how? And I mean, I get it. I get where people are, but it's a process for me to have got to this stage, from where I was. And that's the same for all of us, for everybody. And a lot of people are waking up now, which weren't awake before. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, which is a good
That's what I
thing.
would share. Yeah.
So going back, this is all talking about how you can help people with your vortex healing. This is you're able to assist them to get to this, higher vibration or releasing the fear and
Yeah.
realizing none of it really matters, all this stuff, all this things that we accumulate through our lives with the possessions, the commercial aspect,
Yeah,
buy this, get the bigger that, and or
absolutely.
right.
Because at the end of the day, look at it. We come in with nothing. What do we leave? All this stuff
Yeah,
we have, we can't take any of it. It doesn't matter who you are, the wealthiest, whatever it is. It's
yeah,
what you do with your life. It's what you actually do with your life, yourself, as to how you help yourself. You have to help yourself. You have to like yourself, help yourself before you can help anyone else. Otherwise, it's just mental mind talking. Otherwise, it's just
mm,
academia.
mm,
Literally, literally, it's a question of you cannot take anything with you when you pass. It's what you do for people, for humanity, for yourself, while you and live a good life as much as you can. Know what's what, know the difference between right and wrong, because there is. It's like the yin and the yang. There's the yin and the yang, and literally getting a balance is having a balanced life, to be balanced,
yeah,
balance yourself, letting go of fear. And what I do when I see clients, I talk to them first. You cannot just do a healing on somebody, boom, one, two, three. I wouldn't dream of doing that anyway. You have to know with what's the issue, what's happening for them. So I have I have a long conversation with them first of all, if they're ready. And if they're
mm,
not ready, it's okay. I don't push anyone to do what they're not ready to do. You cannot anyway. You can only, as I say, take that horse to water and say, look, I'm here if you want help. And because of the depth of vortex, I'm saying the depth of vortex healing, what it is, as I say, it's not just, as I say, what I call fluffy spirituality. It's not fluffy stuff. It works at a deep level, an extremely deep level. Works at identities. It's been around for 6,000 years. It's not new agey. It's been
yeah,
around. Yeah,
new
and it
energy.
changed my life for me. And it's taught in the States. It's taught in the Netherlands. It's taught in the UK. I mean, and it's worldwide.
And how does it work? What do you actually do, Philippa, when you
What do I
conduct
do?
healing?
Okay, well, somebody comes to me. I like to do it in person out of choice, but obviously, if not, then I work through a picture. Talk to the client first of all, and then we tune in at a certain time. I'm channeling energy from the divine source of the lineage, basically, and there's a few protocols that I do, basically. Not all the same, not all in one go. Obviously, it'd be too much for the energy system because of the depth that I'm working at. And if somebody comes to me, for example, I talk to them first. We're talking first of all, could be about 15 minutes, half an hour. And then afterwards they're lying on a massage bed, fully clothed, I hasten to add, fully clothed. And I'm behind their head, sitting at the back of the massage bed, and they've got their eyes closed, thinking of nothing or whatever it is. And then I'm channeling. Things come through me from the divine, things come through me, but through a protocol and through whatever. And I work through spirit as well. And I also incorporate spirit, divinity.
And so if they come to you, can they come with like a physical ailment? Or is it, I know you're saying
Yeah,
it's holistic and energy and stuff
yeah,
like that, but if they have got a bad back or problems with the
yeah.
heart, physical,
Yes,
yeah,
yes. Listen, I would never say to that I can heal you because you cannot say
no,
that. Nobody can actually. All you can say is that what go and see a doctor, go and obviously do medical, go to a hospital, go to a doctor, obviously. But sometimes and often a lot of things have manifested into physical form, which has come from literally other stuff, emotional stuff that's going on, often. You can say that sometimes with cancer, I'm
yeah,
not saying always, and I'm not saying always, and you cannot heal somebody that doesn't want to be healed. You
yeah,
say, wants to be healed? Yes, they do, but there's a process. All you can do is literally you have to come from divinity.
yeah.
Nobody can say they are God or the divine or words, or whether you believe, you don't believe, or whatever it is. All you can do is the soul has to be touched. The soul has to be touched, literally, for a healing to take place. And that's really the essence of where it's at.
And there's an interesting phenomena that I learned many years ago about the phantom limb syndrome or
Other
something.
fantasy. Yeah,
Yes, in other words, somebody's had their leg chopped off,
yeah,
amputated, but they can still
yeah.
feel the pain of the energy
That's
of
right.
that leg. Yeah, so
Yeah,
then the energy needs to be
absolutely.
healed, which
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
yeah, kind of
Yeah.
proves your point. And the same with plants. When you chop a leaf off a plant, if you've got the curtain camera or whatever, the special camera, you can see the energy of the leaf. So yeah, and I think it's wonderful that this is really becoming more mainstream, and it's great that you're doing this work. So
But
let's link this to your vortex healing. This is where that becomes the animal work that you're doing, or the trance medium. How come they're all sort of integrated, linked?
Well, it's quite interesting because there's three separate. I had dogs, I had animals, dogs, and
Mm,
that I didn't realize at the time. But when they passed, um, I decided it was time to become an animal communicator. I went into a metaphysical bookstore in Atlanta where I lived, and the books fell off. A book from somebody fell
Oh.
off, literally fell off the shelf. I sat and read it. This was, and the lady had been doing this training, teaching animal communication for many, many years, and that was the person I learned from. And I was in the state, I went to New York, and then I went to her place in Arizona as well. And she would only take people that had written a thesis, basically. She didn't want to do it didn't do it just you want to learn animal communication. The heart had to be in the right place. So I learned from
Mm.
the right person, basically. And most beautiful, beautiful woman. And yeah, that was one thing. And then through Vortex Healing, that was another thing. And I decided that I wanted to use Vortex Healing and animal communication. I blend them together. So when I meet an animal, or whether it's through a picture, I find out what the story is, what's gone on from the client, basically, or if it's in person. Um, and then I use animal communication. You can't just do a healing on an animal, say, hey, I'm healing you, boom. It's like, how would you like that? You wouldn't like that. So it's a question of saying who you are, introduce yourself. I'm here to help you. And your human, your mother, your two-legged mother or two-legged father or whatever it is, wants to help you. And it's like, come to help you. And if animals are acting out, or say a cat's like all of a sudden change behavior and it's sort of, let's say it's weeing all over the place. What's the reason? What's changed? You have to look
Right.
at the dynamics of what's going on
Yeah.
in the family. It's not just the cat's doing it. Okay, well, what's changed? So you have to look back into the families as to what is going on. And then I use vortex healing basically because it works at all the animal stuff, as I say, if they've been abused, for example, and they're living in a wonderful home, but they've still got issues basically. Because it's all in the cellular system and it's fear-based, and that's what I work at. I work at a deep level. I'm working in the cellular system, not just okay, balancing chakras. Nothing wrong with balancing chakras. We all need that, but it's a deep level of which is what vortex healing is. And then again, I work in the spirit world also. When animals have passed away, and a client wants some closure. And sometimes they'll say to me that they want some questions answered. Ask how they passed, what the name was, what they were. And then that's what I do. And I work through a picture of that. And that channels through me in a different way completely. How it works for me is literally, I say, give me a few days or whatever it is, and I connect with the animal in spirit. And it usually happens at night time for me because I'm a night person and I'm a night owl anyway. And I write things to come channel through me and I write things down. And then I call the client the next day or whatever it is and tell them what's
Must be
situation.
very reassuring because
It is.
we take
Yeah,
our pets so very seriously.
absolutely.
They are
100%.
children. Yeah, the
Totally.
unconditional love.
Unconditional love. Unlike,
So you're working with animals. Not all of them have departed. So you're working with animals. You're
oh yeah,
whispering
real
to
life animals.
living
Yeah.
animals as well. How
Living.
can you help people with animals that might have problems?
Well, I literally find out what the issues are, what's going on again, what's going on in the family, what's going on if it's a rescue, what the situation is. And I like to go out and see them if out of choice. I like to do it in person if I can, obviously.
Mm.
Obviously, if I can't, then I work through a picture.
With a picture.
Yeah.
So if the cat is weeing, as you were saying, or something like that, can you give a resolution? Can you offer, does the cat say, well, I'm weeing because I don't like the food that they're giving me, or there's a tomcat
But
around the corner I don't like?
it's normally deeper than, what food Fluffy's going to eat.
Yeah.
I don't do that sort of stuff. It's much deeper level than, what, okay, I've got the munchies, I want something else. I want to change my food. Yes, food is important. Would you like to eat the same thing every day? No, you probably wouldn't either.
Yeah.
But basically, it's finding out what is going on a deeper level. It's finding out, communicating with the animal, the cat or dog or whatever else it is, what is going on and what's happening, basically.
It's amazing. And it's funny, I say the thing about food because I took my two dogs. I've got a mother and daughter, and I took them to a dog whisperer many years ago. And the dog whisperer did actually say that the mummy dog gets a bit upset when we feed the daughter first because of the
Oh, right.
matriarch. She's saying, I'm the mum, and
Oh,
you should
oh,
respect me.
yeah, that's fair.
And it was quite interesting. I thought, actually, yeah, we do that because the little
Yeah,
one's, quicker. And then she also said that the little one likes cat food, which she did. Because she used to nick the cat food all the time. It was like she preferred the cat food to the dog food.
yeah.
It's quite interesting. So Yeah, because you do think, hang on, how does this person know what my dog's saying? And a lot of the stuff was so accurate. It was
It's
incredible.
accurate. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So it can have a major effect on one's life if you do have a pet, that is
Absolutely.
unhappy, and because if
Yeah.
your pet's not happy, generally you're not, you're
That's
not a happy person.
100%.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%, and you want your basically your furry person that's living with you to be happy.
To be happy, then you're happy. So do you use the trance mediumship in this regard as well, or is this something totally separate?
No, that's separate completely.
Okay, so let's talk about that because I find all of this is very interesting. But yeah, tell me more about the trance mediumship. What goes on?
Okay. Well, there's different ways of doing this. I get into a trance. Uh,
Trance.
Basically, it's about giving philosophy. There's different ways of doing it. There's trance healing, there's trance speaking, and you can also give readings through trance as well. Sometimes I do readings through trance with somebody, with clients. And other times, what I do a lot of trance speaking in the sense that I've there's some stuff on my website actually. When I was in Costa Rica at Blue Spirit for David Permel and Mitten, I was given an opportunity actually a couple of years ago when I was there, and it's recorded. And then I sit with somebody, not to do it just on your own. I sit with somebody. It's been recorded. It's all been recorded, and he also transcribed it as well. So it's not me, Philippa, talking. It's not me like I'm talking to you. I get into a specific zone. It's got to be quiet around me and everything. And you can say it's like a deep, deep meditation. I prepare myself beforehand anyway. I play certain music that I like personally for me. And I get into a zone and I connect with the spirit world. And then when the person is here with me, basically, and then it just talks. And then I usually have about three people talking at different times. It's not, my voice is not the same. It's not a Chinese voice or anything like that. It's not that's like that. It doesn't manifest through me like that. It's not right or wrong. Everybody is different. That's come from the angelic realm different times because I work a lot with the angelic realm anyway, all the time, anyway, for me personally. And I've been singing lately a lot. I sing. It's like high pitched singing. And even when I
When
do,
you're in trance.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. This has been the last, I don't know, last few months actually, because I was actually out in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I was invited out there as a guest. I was doing a whole big event out there with some people, some beautiful spiritual people, and I was doing a healing on one of the people, and had a whole crowd of people around. And I started singing in a really, really, really loud. It was like wow. And it comes through even when I do vortex healing on clients now. At the end of it, I connect with the spirit world at the end, and somehow singing happens as well through me. I did a healing
So
with somebody. I want to share this with you. I did a healing
yeah.
with somebody last night, actually. It was actually a friend, a good friend of mine, who's actually a medium, close friend of mine. I was at her place yesterday, and it was very interesting. And I did a healing on her last night, as one does. And she asked me to, yeah, okay. And at the end of it all, I was doing vortex healing. At the end of it all, I started singing. And that it's from another dimension. It's from spirit.
So with either singing, because again, singing is amazing. It's a vibration, isn't it? It's
Vibration,
and a
absolutely.
high pitched
It's
vibrate or
high,
higher thing.
it's high.
So
Yeah,
is that healing or is that giving a message? Because whenever I'm thinking
I
of
know.
trance, mediumship, I'm thinking you're sitting there and somebody's saying, oh, you've got your great grandmother or father bringing a message.
That's different. Yeah, that's
Okay.
slightly different. That's different. There's evidential mediumship, which is when you have to basically an evidential mediumship is you're getting evidence from the person to the recipient, basically, from the person that's passed away. And the medium is like it's like the middleman, if you like. You have to take yourself, who you are, out of it. But you have to raise your vibration high because the spirit world it's a very fast, high vibration. They have to bring their vibration down. We have to bring our vibration up to meet. Okay, that's when you're getting, I've got my grandmother here, you've got your this here, that, or the, when I'm doing different stuff with trance, it's very different. It's quiet. It's like a very deep meditation, basically. And you prepare for this and train for this in a certain way. It's not just, oh, hello, been working at this for some time anyway. Um, and I can do it online also. In fact, it was very interesting because when all the lockdowns were on, spirit had to adapt as well. And I was learning doing trance mediumship with a tutor, actually, not just me. It was worldwide. It was in the States, here in the UK. It was basically trance. And I learned, did a lot of trance all around that time because everyone had to be quiet, or we all had to sort of quieten ourselves down. We weren't out there running around
Mm.
like we always did, any of us, and whatever. But that was when it sort of became prevalent for me, and I got more and more and more. As I say, it's like a flower opening up and blooming. And I'd always been told by mediums, other mediums, that trance was my forte. So I can do trance healing as well, and I tune into people with trance. And as I say, it's like a spiritual philosophy when I give talks, when I'm doing talking, trance speaking, basically. It's like it's coming from, it's not, it's coming through me. It can be talking about world situations, talking about spirit, but on a spiritual, an esoteric spiritual level. Not everyone can handle that, obviously, because it's something so, it seems so different and so wacky, but it's not wacky. It's when you understand it, and it's been recorded as well. I've been recorded as well.
Sounds
Uh,
amazing. It does. It sounds amazing. So if somebody comes to you for healing, if they say, right, I'm not a happy person, help. How
yeah,
would you know whether to give them Vortex, or
it would be vortex healing because of all the layers it works at. Because most, I say, most people's issues, whatever the story is fear of change. It's fear, self-worth, or forgiveness. Whatever, however the story manifests, we have to work at the root core, the root cause of what the situation is, and that's what vortex healing does. Works at the root cause, not just the outside level of everything. And through that, through what I do, also at the end, I'm incorporating right at the end of everything. What I do now, you know, is I incorporate spirit. I connect with spirit right at the end as well.
and is that when the trance comes in then?
It comes in through trance, yes.
Okay,
Through
okay.
trance, yeah. And the singing, that's when the singing happens.
So
When
right, it's not like a separate thing. It's all kind of organic, and it just
it's organic, but it is separate because I'm doing vortex healing, the protocols of vortex healing. But then at the end, I've been doing, what's come through me as to what
yeah,
to do, connect with spirit, the soul of the person who's having the healing, and my soul, my guides,
yeah,
basically, guides actually, and their guides, my guides. It's like my guides talking to your guides.
yeah. And you're being guided in into what's
Guided,
needed.
guided.
Sure. Were you a girl guide?
No, no, I wasn't. No, no, no. I
No, we
wasn't a
won't
Boy
go down
Scout
that
either.
route.
I wasn't a Boy Scout either.
No.
None of it.
Fabulous. Okay. Well, I found that so interesting. And that now takes us into something completely different, but it's probably not. It probably isn't. But the Thai vegan
Yeah,
chef, you're a Thai vegan chef, and you've written a cookbook.
yeah. Well, as I say, I was a professional Thai chef
Mm.
in the Netherlands when I moved there. And then when I moved to the US as well, I was a professional Thai chef, but I was eating meat, everything under the sun at that time. And I had a catering company specializing in Thai cuisine. I was a professional Thai chef. And I had also a Thai cooking school. This was in Atlanta and also in the Netherlands. I started in The Hague, and then ex-husband got a green card, and that's how we went to the States, went to Atlanta. But I was actually very interestingly friendly with the American ambassador's personal chef in the Netherlands, who was from Atlanta. So everything has a continuity, if you like. That's how there's no coincidence, anything in life. I'm always talking about it. Everything is divine timing. Who
Mhm.
you meet, who comes into your life at different times, everything, no coincidence. The American ambassador at that time was also from Atlanta. So I had a whole, and why Atlanta? It was all the contacts happened to be in Atlanta. And then we found a house. When things are meant to be, that's how they unfold. You have to just trust and go with it, basically. Anyway, so that's what I was doing. At a catering company. I cooked for the Thai ambassador in Washington, D.C., Thai tourist board in New York, the Thai trade center in Miami. So I cooked the real Thai food. I believe I was Thai in a previous life because there's no logical reason. I don't have a Thai grandmother, or I didn't have a Thai husband either.
That's what I was wondering. If there's a Thai husband.
There's no
Did you
logic.
go to? Have you been to Thailand? Did you go to
Many
Thailand?
times, yeah, many
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
I trained in Thailand as well and in London, actually. But basically, that was the whole thing. You go to certain places and certain things awaken something. There's like a catalyst for something. It's
Yeah.
people, situations, and it's a catalyst. And it awakened that in me. And I wasn't thinking, oh, well, it's the most unlikely situation of all. But I just go with it now. It's like, and that was then, and that was years ago. That was many, many, many years ago. And then through everything, through all of that, basically through all the healing work I was doing as well for myself, It was a process. Again, I realized I didn't want to cook animals, basically, bottom line. I don't knock with whatever anyone wants to do. It's a choice, it's a personal choice, and you can't always just go from one thing to another. It's a process. You can go through sometimes whether you go vegetarian, you go pescatarian, or whether you go pure vegan. You can't judge people. People have to do their own things themselves. And all you can do is, again, same thing. I'm showing you this, I'm sharing this with you. It's up to you what you do. It's your awareness. It's not, I'm not judging. We cannot judge people on that level. I'm really
Yeah.
big on that. People say, well, this and that, and I don't judge people. So basically, I veganized all my Thai recipes. There's 85 recipes. I veganized them. I've had the most amazing photographs taken, professional photographs taken in Atlanta. I've got everything. I had a an editor in New York at the time, and I didn't take things further. I was trying to think, shall I publish the book myself or what? And then everything with all the other stuff that's happened to everybody the last 5 years, and plus myself and various different sagas and dramas of life, as one has. I basically decided it's time now, and this year for me anyway has been a year of change. This whole year, 2025, and I know it. I knew it anyway. I had to heal from a lot of things last year and a few other years as well, especially last year, there's some stuff going on. And it's now this is who I am and how I move forward, basically for myself. And it's time to get the book out there. So that's what I'm looking at, and to do Thai cooking classes as well. I don't want to do particularly, and I'm not going to, I had a catering company, as I say, massive
Mm.
catering company, not massive, did a good catering company actually in
Mm.
Atlanta. London, things manifested in a different way. You can have an idea of what you want to do, and all of a sudden the universe goes, no, we're not going this way, we're going this way. So you have to go with the flow and trust, just
Yeah.
trust you're being shown. And that's what I do. But I know with cooking classes, and that's to do that, to get videos together to do all that and put it out there. So I'm talking to different people now how to pull it all together. But the book is with the editor anyway, and that's the next thing. And I've got somebody else helping me on different things. As I say, when the right time appears, you get the right people that come out of everything.
Yeah.
Wow, and that is really how it is. And it's going to be an international Thai cookbook.
Fantastic. Well, as Carl Jung said, there's no such thing as a coincidence. It's all
No,
synchronicity, and I totally believe that.
I see. Divine timing. I always say it's divine timing.
Absolutely. And trust, yeah, go with the flow. Look for the signs and go with the flow. What
Divine
is the name
timing.
of it? What is the name of the book?
Okay.
Here we go.
Ta-da, ta-da. Tastes of Love and Light.
Oh, lovely. Taste of love and light.
Light.
Oh, and
There's
nothing Thai in there. No
no,
indication.
no, it's
Okay.
going to be more than that, but that's the main Tastes of Love and Light Thai vegan cookbook.
Right. Thai
Thai
vegan
vegan
cookbook.
cookbook. Yeah, that's sorting the cover out, obviously, but
Yeah.
that's because it's tastes of love and light. Actually, when you look at it, and I always sign myself love and light anyway. I mean, I always do. It's just not because it's gimmicky and it whatever. It's because that's what I feel.
Yeah, you resonate with that. I understand that. A few people do these days, which is
Yeah,
lovely.
whatever you feel right. But it's a
Yeah.
vegan cookbook with tastes of love and light. But it's the journey. It's the whole thing of a little bit of journey of everything, and it's also what it has got. I veganized all my recipes. That's
Mm.
that side of it. That was mental mind stuff doing that.
Mm.
And the other side of it is there's a lot of stories in there which all channel through me of animals, as if the animals are talking to you. A cow is talking to you. A cow is talking to a calf is talking to its mother. A baby piglet is talking to its mother. It's different. It's different. I'm not going to say any more at the moment. There's all so it's very different. We are all unique. I don't follow a mainstream whatever.
No.
This is what I've been guided to do. It's the same as it's the same as in the book I wrote, Rising Above Grief for People and Pets. So if anybody wants to know about that, I wrote that in 2012 and it's available on Amazon. And it's to help people with the grieving process.
Mm.
So when you
Very
realize
important. Mm.
life
Really,
is,
really important.
yeah, love, caring, and sharing. And that's what
Mm.
life is, love, caring, and sharing. That's what it
Mm.
should be. And that's actually the essence of what it is. So the book is like it's another way of healing, basically. You're healing, the other is you're healing your soul, but you're healing your soul in a different way. You're healing your tummy, actually.
Yeah.
You're healing, how you eat, what you are. And it doesn't mean to say you have to all of a sudden just eat, vegetables only. Because we all grew up eating, most people grew up eating meat and you want the taste of things. So I do use things like Beyond Meat, Beyond Burger, but various different things. Whether you like it or you don't like it, there's vegetables, there's other things, but it's all my curry paste, all my soul work is in this book. My culinary work is in this book. what I did.
And so some of it is
Website.
available now or not quite?
No, 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 not yet, not yet. No, no.
Okay.
This is the pre-talk. Then there'll be a pre-sale, and then there'll be a. I'll let you
Okay.
know. It's going to be a process, but it's going to be this. It'll be this year. I talked about it, and yeah,
And when do you think this year it's going to be ready though? That
yeah,
people have
definitely, 100%.
super. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, 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 yeah.
wonderful.
This is it. This is the year to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, like you say, 2025. So if people want to find out more about you, you've got a website. Can you tell us what your website is? And I will put it in the
Yeah.
description at the bottom.
The best one for me at the moment is healingpeopleandpets.com.
Okay.
And my email is Philippa, but it's Philippa at healingpeopleandpets.com. That will always come to me. There's two ways of spelling Philippa, so that's why I'm spelling
Yes.
it to make it easy, because
Yeah.
otherwise you won't get the email won't come to me.
Well, I'll put that in the bottom as well. Is there, before we close, is there anything else that you would like to say, Phil? It's been fascinating talking to you, but is there anything else you would like to say or add or mention?
Let me think. Just to say that just be true to yourself, live in your trust, come from integrity, trust in the process of life as it unfolds, and realize that life is love, caring, and sharing. Okay?
Beautiful.
And that everything is divine timing. I'm always
Mm.
talking about divine timing, and truly everything is divine timing. As to how you and I met was divine timing in
It
Costa
was.
Rica.
Yeah, it was. And I think that is a really good point to end on as well, because also I think divine timing, sometimes, people are up and down and, there's always light at the end of the tunnel, isn't there? And I think you have to hold on to that if you're going through a negative aspect, as a lot of people are at the moment with the fear and the threats and
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff. Just hang on in there and seek some healing, speak to people, come and see Philippa.
People need healing. We need healing. We need help.
We
Help
do, we
Help is
do.
there if you choose, whether it's individual or collective healing, or if it's just a group of friends wanting to talk,
Yeah,
whatever it is. There's healing comes in different ways, different forms, and different people. We're all here to help. And it's not a
yeah,
question, as I say, it's not egoic at all. It's literally
no,
when you come from your heart. And that's what's called for now. It's coming from the heart, heart-based, literal.
coming from the heart. I like that.
And
Yeah.
that's how I live my life as well.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much, Philippa Kingsley. It's been an absolute pleasure, can't we speaking to you. And yeah, we will speak again soon. Probably when your book's out, we can talk again, talk more about the book.
Absolutely. Be
Thank
lovely.
you.
Thank you so much. This was
Thank
beautiful.
you. Pleasure.